Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry. Starting off with today with the Joy Toy 1/18th scale Space Wolves Battle Pack. Warhammer 40k. Now, this is still wrapped in cellophane. As you can see, it's a 4-pack of Space Marines. Or Hunters, or I don't know much about Warhammer, so as you can see, 15 and up. This contains 4 times 12 centimeter collector's action figure and accessory. And here we got a nice picture on the side. Sorry about the shrink wrap or around it. Kind of blurring it, but you get a good look at what the civilian sculpts are without the helmets. Got some more on the back. You got the copyright right over here, and other stuff on the back. Your USPC, in case you're looking for this. Nice picture, get it out of the light a little bit, of the wolf here, for the wolf pack. Nothing on the bottom, and on the top just says Warhammer 40k. So let's get this puppy open up and take a closer look at what's inside. Alright, with the shrink wrap off, I'm going to give you all a better look at the packaging without all the extra glare. So here we go. There you go. That's so much better. So much better of a look. What's on the sides here. Without all that extra glariness. Nice little wolf insignia there. Again, but the main reason why, because as soon as I opened the flap, I noticed how these are packed, and I really kind of want to do an unboxing. I've only done one figure actually unboxing. That video took forever. So as you can see, all the individual figures are in their own box, it looks like. So we'll pull them out each one at a time and take a closer look at their packaging. They're really in here pretty tight, so I'm trying not to damage the box. There we go. We'll start from the middle. So first off, we have this one here. Now these individual boxes are kind of light. So you have that going. We have the next one right here. Now they don't have any separate names on them at all, just the packaging of, I guess, the Marine inside. Next. Now, so if you look at the back, it's also check marked on which one it is that you currently have in your hands, which I guess is interesting, so you don't lose track of where you are. It's a little dinged up. Toy. Warhammer in the bottom. Warhammer on top. Yes, and they're all light. And last but not least, there you go. Your copyright Hunter pack. Now these are interesting boxes. Like I said, they're really light individually out of this big carton. Nothing else in there, just those 4 individual boxes, and we'll go through each one individually. We'll start with this one, the last one we pulled out, because I like his hair. I'll carefully cut this tape. There we are. Now let's see what this looks like. Oh wow, there we go. Oh, and he has like a little card. That's cool. Attached there. That's neat. And I like the kind of shell that's on these guys because it reminds me of the figure arts where it's double shelled. You got the top clamshell to hold the figure in, while the bottom one holds all the actual pieces, has most of the molded tray aspect. If I'm even saying that right. Oh, they are very loosely in there, so be careful. A couple of the hands flew out. And a gun. Yep, a bunch of the hands flew out of the tray, and the helmet, and the gun. So we'll go ahead and get the figure out. Oh wow, yeah, these guys definitely are 1/18 scale, but I'll take a quick look at the figure itself's articulation. Move the tray aside. I'm going to look at the deco first. And for someone being so short, it's a small figure, they've seemed to have done a very good job at the detail. Now, comparatively, people like my friend who I have these from, he paints miniatures, the actual miniatures, and those are way smaller. They're like this big compared. I don't have anything to compare because I don't play that type of game. But so needless to say, oh, and the knife does come out of the sheath. I like that. The paintwork on that's really nice too. That's really good. I like that a lot. But I like the highlights on the hair. All the extra detail work there. The gold is really nice. It's very clean. Just looking at it, mostly very clean. Obviously this part would have been a little bit harder to keep clean, but it's not really all that noticeable unless you're really going to be staring at it. But all the rest of the paint applications seem to be really neat, really clean. So good job on Joy Toy. Now like I said, I'm not familiar with these, but I'm familiar with this design from the video games. Alright, we'll go and take a quick look at his articulation. Seems like his head is on a like the whole neck head is on a ball joint, so it's got a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of range. Nice. It goes left and right. You can only look about that far up. You look about that far down, so you're not really looking down more as you are forward. So there's that. With your arms, well, that's interesting. The arms have a little pull out, so you can get more of a little bit more range. For the shoulders, not a lot more range, but it gives you some. So you can pull that arm in a bit further. There does seem to be a little bit of articulation on the shoulder pauldron here. You have a bicep cut. Got a looks like a double jointed elbow with an elbow pad, so that helps kind of break that up. And that's about as far as you're going to get with the shoulder pad in the way. You got your wrist on its own independent swivel. Looks like it's just all on a ball joint. There's no extra hinge or anything. Looks like the hand itself is on a ball joint. You just pop it off and there it is. Yep, just a separate little ball joint. I don't know if I prefer that or not, but the hands are actually nice, soft, really pliable. To make it really easy to get the weapons in and out of his hands. For the waist, we seem to have a rocker here at the it goes side to side a bit. There is also, looks like it's a double ball jointed ball socket system, like one up here and one at the waist. That's what it looks like to me, because you get a little bit more range of motion there too, for a bit deeper of an ab crunch. That's what it looks like. I do like that these are all on their own little pegs, little pouches, little ball joints on there. That's cool. Makes it a lot easier to get out of the way. This also is, yeah, all of them. So you got your legs. They seem to be on little hinge system. No ball joint. Yeah, that's ball. There's a ball socket. Ball socket on the hips. That's as far as you're going to get the kick out. You go forward about that far. Then that's as far back as you're going to get. You got your knees are double jointed knees. And when you get it fully done, that's about as far as it's going to get. So he can kick his own butt. No boot cut. Which is fine considering you can tell by the cut here for the double jointed knees that would be kind of impossible to do. It's kind of right into the boot. But you do have a nice bit of range on the ankle. And there is a toe hinge. So you got that extra bit of articulation if you enjoy toe hinges. Stands up pretty nice. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of his accessories. Starting with this lovely jetpack. As it looks like a jetpack. I would think it was a jetpack. And it does have, these parts here are articulated so you can move them out in whatever direction, well, up or down. Swivel them either way. And that just plugs right in to two holes right there on the back, like so. There you go. Now, I believe all these guys do have them, at least it looks like it on the package. Of course, you got his signature helmet. Get a closer look, there we go. You can see, yeah, it's just a ball socket that just plugs right into there. So when we swap it out, let's pull it off. Now, there ends up being a problem with the double ball socket. So you have to pull out one in order to pull out the other. And this is going to be a pain, I feel. There we go. You gotta get really good grip on that bottom one in order just to put it onto the head. Now you can probably be easier if you go ahead and plug it back into its original socket in the body, like so, before you put the helmet on, like that. So yeah, obviously if you want to display him with his helmet on, there you go. But I don't see why you wouldn't want to display him without his helmet on, because this is a really nice head sculpt. You see, there it is. But it wasn't that much of a pain. Yeah, you do have to get a good grip on that other ball joint when you pull it out, because it will, or at least it has for me so far, come out that way. I'm going to take a look at some of his hands. He has an extra 2 pairs of hands, so he has 3 total pairs of hands. You know, he has trigger finger hand on him already there, or kind of an open relaxed hand that's already on. But now you have a more closed grip for sword holding, for the big buzzsaw sword or chainsaw sword that he has. And that one's for his right hand. You have a kind of a loose trigger finger hand for his left. You have another sword gripping hand, this time for his left. And kind of relaxed, not really relaxed, but it's not as closed up as the sword one is, but it's not as relaxed as the one that's already on him for his right. So you have those options for hands. Go ahead and take a look at some weapons. You got his little pistol here, which seems to be done in a nice gunmetal paint with some black. But I really don't think it's molded in this, but it could be. I don't know. It's too shiny and sparkly for it not to just be paint. But I do like it. It's very subtle, very militaristic, at least in that universe. Anyway, you have this big old assault rifle looking thing here with the big old scope on it. This is very nicely done. I like the gold skull with the wings on it. Again, it's done that nice kind of gunmetal with nice black on it. Fairly nicely painted. I kind of wish they would have done the same thing on the back of the scope like they did with the front, instead of just making it flat. But so that's got a little bit of a messiness. Not really messy, just kind of a little overdone. Kind of on that lens there. A little bit of that. And of course his last accessory being this lovely chainsaw sword. Again, it's got a lot of that. This is more black on it though than the gunmetal, but it's still really nicely done. Nice exhaust vent there, painted. And if you were so inclined, if you wanted to hook up a metal chain, put a metal chain right there if you wanted to, or put anything extra hanging off of that if you want it. I don't see why not. That'd be kind of cool. Customize it if you want. I mean, a lot of people do that with the actual figurines. I want to take a closer look at this card that comes inside. This is known as Pack Leader Eric Icefang. So they do have names. These don't seem to put it on the actual packaging, but it is on the card that comes with them. And it seems to be in a nice resealable little piece of plastic, so you can always put the card back in it. So you can go ahead and pull that card out. You can see it has a nice render of the figure, with a bit brighter gold on the render for that knife than what we actually got. It's more of a more realistic kind of bronze than a gold. But his entire bio is in Japanese. Or is that Chinese? No, I have no idea. I don't know the difference, because I want to say that's Japanese, but I could be extremely wrong because I do not speak or read it. So if you can, then you'll have a bio for him. If not, well, I guess you could always learn it, seal that back up. So that's figure one. Now go ahead and we'll open up the second one. Let's go ahead and do it from left to right. Or, yeah, left to right. And again, here we go. Same like the other. Got a nice card out there with the render on the package. Little sticker hanging off. And so far it looks like it has the exact same accessories, except he does not come with the big chainsaw sword. So there's that. Take a look at the card first. I'm not going to take this one out of the pack, out of the plastic. But we got nice, beautiful render of the figure right there. And this is Brother Burrick. Get that focus. There you go. So that's neat. They do have names. And again, same kind of clamshell. Be very careful, because I don't want the hands to start flying out. Doesn't really take all that much extra force to really pry that open. There we go. close look at the figure himself. Again, very nicely painted on the face. A little bit of extra black there near the nose. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be on purpose or not. I don't think it is, but you don't see that profile on the box. I like the little cybernetic bits protruding out of his flesh. I just love this bronze paint. Kind of bronzes gold. I can't even speak. Nice little medallion here, and looks like a Lucky Rabbit's foot on his knee. Paint on him is very similar to what was on the first figure we were looking at. Move that, that's driving me nuts. How his arms are sitting. He's got this nice design there. A little bit of paint scratch, but not a lot. I think they sometimes just rubs. We're handling them, putting them in the package, we're finalizing it. I do love the panel line, the detail to the panel lines. I always like figures that have darkened panel lines on them. It just makes the figure pop a lot more, in my opinion. Of course, articulation is the exact same as the other figure because he's pretty much the exact same figure. Just a little extra bits and pieces. You know, like the foot here, just a different thing pegged in here instead of the knife. But again, arms kind of go out, kind of protrude out a little bit. Give yourself extra range outward. The pauldrons move around a little bit. Their head's on that double ball socket, ball joint barbell, double jointed elbow. Wrist is on a ball socket. Waist looks like double ball socketed waist. You know, exact same range of motion as the other figure. Not going to have any better articulation than the last one. Again, where'd you get your toe? And accessories are, like I said, exactly the same set of hands. They have exactly the same set of hands, same backpack. Now I want to say the helmets are all exactly the same too. Except for the first one. The other two, all the rest of these guys are going to be the same, except for not going to have the little red diamond that was on the commander's helmet. But still very nicely painted. Very nicely detailed. Like the use of red with that little bit of black wash around the eyes. Love that. But I'm not going to assemble them. Same backpack as the last. No, nothing new, nothing different. Still move those burners out any which way you want. It's the same style assault rifle. Same beautiful detail. And the same beautiful looking sidearm. Hands I'm not going to bring back out. I'm going to pull him to the side. Look at the next one here. This badass looking guy. Look at the packaging again. There we go. This lovely shell here. And again, Same accessories as the one we just looked at. No sword. Here's his card. With a beautiful render of him on there. That is Brother Kajarl. I don't know. But that seems to be his name. And again, he has all the exact same hands, same helmet, same backpack, same weapons, and actually he's got almost the exact same, pretty much the exact same body as the last figure. He's got the same diamond pendant thing here, hanging off his belt, the same lucky like rabbit's foot. And we'll go ahead and take another look at the deco. Again, very beautifully done, very beautifully painted. I love the little bit, all this little detail, working the highlights on the hair. A little bit of hair this one actually has. Little cybernetic bits, rivets. Again, same articulation, the double barbell for the head. You know, same exact joints. Pauldrons have a little bit of movement. Bicep, double jointed elbows, wrist on the ball joint, double ball jointed waist, I believe. Got your ball joint hips, or your you do have a thigh cut. I don't know if I said this on the first figure, but there is a thigh cut. I don't remember if I mentioned that, but there's double jointed knees. And of course the rocker, which is very hindered, and the toe articulation. And again, almost exactly the same as the last one. So, you know, if you wanted the troop build, this would be, you know, in this scale, getting a bunch of these packs, just leaving the helmets on like the majority of them, except for maybe the first 4. You know, the first pack you get would work, you know, at least it would work for me. Of course, you got the same backpack, the same bit. Same guns. Very nicely painted again. I love the molds on these. These sculpts are really nice. I mean, if I had to have any complaint about the figures, I wish this pack they were each had a bit more, I don't know, nuance to them comparatively, except for like the first one. The first figure is like the only one with a whole lot more differences compared to the rest of them, and that's because he had the big knife. Really, and he has a big. And he comes with one extra accessory, and his helmet's got a little bit different sculpt. And put this one aside. We'll take a look at the last figure in the box. The last in the set. The guy with the mohawk. Here we are with him again. Same sets of hands, same sets of weapons, but his body's got a little bit different. Go and take a look at the card. Beautiful render. Nicely done. And this is Brother Wolfgar. Nice. Very nice. Go ahead and take a closer look at the figure himself. Compare him to the others. after we get done looking at them. Now I'm going to say this again, be careful when you do open it because the hands will want to fling out because they aren't like really in there, they're all just kind of loosely in there. And that's why they have the top tray to keep them from flailing everywhere. Take a closer look at this guy's deco. He's got more of a "I'm coming to get you" kind of screaming mouth, like "ah!" Again, nice highlights on the hair. Beautiful paint work on the scarring. Because these guys have been through a lot. And beautiful bronze on the chest. It's really nice. Same paint work on the pauldrons. Now the one other difference compared to everyone else is that he doesn't have the little rabbit foot on his knee here, but he has this little pendant but with a skull on it opposed to the little red jewel. So makes him the only other, I guess, unique one compared to the other two. So those guys could be like a bunch of grunts, I guess, and you may be able to, if you get a bunch of them, you could probably peg those out. But they might pull out, and you might have to work it a little bit, maybe a little bit of heat, and pop that out of the belt if you want it and swap it with something else. But that's totally up to you. I'm not going to do, these aren't mine, so I'm not going to start pulling parts off that don't need to be pulled off. Again, articulation is exact same as the other three. Barbell on the neck, the head, shoulders got the same pull out, so you can get more closer range if you need to do that. Pauldrons have a little bit of articulation, a little bit of movement to them. You got your your bicep cut, double jointed elbow. You got your, I want to say double balled waist. You can turn that on independently if you want, so you can get some more range of motion for posing. You do have your ball hinge here at the hips. Now he seems to be a bit more hindered. He doesn't want to move out as far. I think, have they all been like that? Do have a thigh cut again. Sorry if I've forgotten the first two figures. Double jointed knees. And you also got your ankles. I believe they're just on a ball. Just rotates around. And your toe hinge. You got that going. He's got the most, probably one, like the most expressive face. No, second most expressive. When we looked at beforehand. And kind of going at your mouth. And we got closer look at the helmet. Again, exact same as the other two. Doesn't have that extra little diamond in the center. But again, very nicely painted, very nicely washed. Like the choice. The kind of muted blue to use for this. It's rocket pack or jet pack or booster pack, whatever they call them in this series, I have no idea. Again, very nicely painted, nicely washed. The gunmetal paint around all that. Although they do move, you can kind of maneuver them whatever direction you want. Got the same exact sidearm. Beautiful gunmetal in black. And again, I'm not going to go through the hands because the exact same hands as what was with the first figure. And then he got his lovely assault rifle here. All that beautiful paint. Now, obviously, this loose hand here is going to be for him holding on to the barrel of the gun, like so. So, see how these work, getting them into the hand. Like I said, they're really soft plastic, so getting them in is really, really simple, as you can see. And it's just scaling, getting the articulation right, getting the hands bent in the direction you want. And like I said, these are really pliable hands, so they're really forgiving. So there you go. This one's not one that moves so much. I have them looking up and they're like, "I'll get you." Like, say a spaceship's flying away or shooting at some other kind of aircraft. Yeah. I probably have them all in like cool battle poses. I'm kind of looking up. Like they're firing from someone above. That'd be kind of neat. So one thing I noticed when getting these figures ready for the photo booth to put them together, I somehow missed this on the first figure. He was missing his left elbow pad. I went looking around, had to go back through the footage and see, did I actually miss it? Yeah, and he did not have that piece. So my friend is going to have to contact whoever he has to contact to see about getting hopefully a replacement piece for that, because that's awful. I went looking around to see if it was loose in the tray, and I did not have it anywhere in the tray or on the desk, on the tabletop. So that's something that be very wary when getting these. Everyone else had all their parts, but for some odd reason the commander here was missing his elbow pad. You know he's supposed to have it. The artwork on the box hat shows it, and obviously you can see the little peg, little square peg there that it's supposed to notch right on top of. So that's a bit disappointing, and I'm sorry I missed that. My initial look at, my initial walkthrough on the articulation and paint. I just totally missed it. But again, I'm not familiar with this line of figures, and it's just really kind of a bummer. And I don't know how much he paid for these off the top of my head. I have to get that information, and I will post all that in. Yeah, that's super bummer. You're missing even a tiny piece of armor with such a beautiful looking figure already. It's really a bit of a letdown. I don't know how much he paid for this 4-pack. But I guess if he's going to pose them, unless he can find a way of getting a new piece, and he might be able to. I have no idea what the market is like for these guys. But for something that's, you know, marketed to collectors that are 15 years and old up, or 15 years and older, it's kind of a letdown to be missing any part, especially when it's already supposed to be on the figure. And like I said, it wasn't even loose in the package. So I could have done better, Joy Toy, on that aspect, but you know, accidents happen in manufacturing, I understand. And if I missed it on initial look at, I'm pretty sure anyone QCing these probably would have missed it too. Other than the missing elbow pad on one of the figures, this is a beautiful line of figures that I would suggest if you're a Warhammer 40k fan, definitely pick up and check them out. Still don't know how much they cost. Again, my friend got these from our local comic shop, or one of our local comic toy shops, and he quite does enjoy these. And I think everyone else who's a Warhammer fan will enjoy these too. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more new videos in the coming weeks. And until next time, peace out.